I do think that the work in my office and other parts of the Justice Department has changed the definition of the problem of crime in America.
City-wide arrests have gone up to record highs, which is one of the ways in which we've also brought down crime. We arrest a lot of people.
Maybe we can't catch all of them, but we sure as heck can deliver a message, which is if you do get caught, you are going to lose your liberty. You're going to go to prison.
Nothing disturbs me more than to see all of the revelations of crime committed by some of the most powerful and some of the wealthiest members of our society.
Rudy Giuliani has gone from America's mayor, in quotation marks, to a criminal target in Georgia. Trump's lawyer and key coup plotter is now officially a target of the Fulton County investigation into interference in the 2020 election. As Giuliani's Georgia lawyer once put it, quote, target is a designation given by the government to individuals it believes of criminal culpability and for whom they have indicated an intent to bring formal charges. You might remember, the days after the election, Giuliani traveled down to Georgia to try and overturn the election results. That is, to steal the election for the loser over the winner. And he wanted to do so by spreading bogus conspiracy theories.
I don't have to be a genius to figure out that those votes are not legitimate votes. You don't put legitimate votes under a table.
No.
Wait until you throw the opposition out and in the middle of the night count them. We would have to be fools to think that. So no need to push it any further, but there's more than ample evidence to conclude that this election was a sham.
Completely untrue, of course, baldly untrue. And those lies about what happened may now be part of Giuliani's undoing. Now, there's a certain irony that Giuliani, a guy who built his name on being a tough on crime prosecutor and mayor, in some cases to the detriment of many New York's most vulnerable residents, is now synonymous with the various crimes and misdeeds of Donald Trump. From Trump's blackmail of the Ukrainian president to assist Giuliani's scheme to dig up dirt on the Bidens, to the possibly illegal plot to create slates of false electors, to civil defamation suits from voting machine manufacturers stemming from, again, Giuliani's repeated baseless conspiracy theories about them. But it's this latest news we got today about the Georgia case that may be the final note in Rudy Giuliani's shameful biography. Joining me now is Kyle Cheney, senior legal affairs reporter for Politico. Kyle, first of all, this seems like a big deal. What's the significance here that he is, according to multiple reports, a target of this criminal inquiry down in Fulton County?
So look, the Fulton County investigation has been, gradually penetrating Donald Trump's inner circle for the last few months, and it actually said some of these false electors that Rudy Giuliani helped assemble were also targets now of this investigation, criminal targets. So it's been encroaching, closer and closer to Trump himself. And prior to this, search at Mar-a-Lago was probably the most acute legal threat Trump was facing. So now that Rudy Giuliani is a target of this probe, it seems, likely again that charges will be forthcoming. And he was supposed to testify to the grand jury in that matter this week, and now it's unlikely since he's now a target, and at the very least would have to plead the fifth. You'd think, but this is now again, competing with what happened at Mar-a-Lago for the most significant threat to Donald Trump.
Yeah, to your point, I mean, the DA of Fulton County has actually sent what's called target letters already to some individuals, something the federal government, Department of Justice, U.S. Attorney's Office does often. You see it less often in local county prosecutors. But last month, the district attorney Willis informed 16 Trump supporters and state GOP officials who had signed those certificates claiming to be qualified presidential electors. They were also targets of the probe. I mean, I guess the question is, what do we know about how close that means they are to actually filing criminal charges?
Well, look, the judge who's overseeing that matter has said he's not going to unseal any sort of actions or indictments really close to the election. So I would imagine if we don't see something imminently, this is going to be something that waits until post-November. But it does seem by many accounts this probe is nearing its completion. I mean, it's already, again, Giuliani being subpoenaed here shows you that they're at the upper rungs. Senator Lindsey Graham was just ordered by a federal judge at least to testify partially to the grand jury here, and we'll see how his appeal goes there. But there's a whole, they've gone after all the highest level players in Donald Trump's orbit, except for Trump himself and Mark Meadows.
Yeah, and what's interesting there, I mean, I think when you think about Giuliani being a target, Giuliani was the agent and Donald Trump was the principal. I mean, Giuliani was doing the things he was doing in Georgia. If he was doing crimes, as appears to be what the county DA's office now thinks, he was doing them on Donald Trump's behalf, right?
Right, and his role in this was multifaceted, as you pointed out. He was spreading lies about what happened in Georgia, including the really egregious lie about some of the election workers who were moving ballots, properly, but became a big conspiracy theory. But he also helped assemble these false electors who themselves received target letters. But Rudy Giuliani did that in multiple states, and he advised Donald Trump about January 6th itself and the procedures there. So he touches every aspect of this scheme. And is 1 degree removed from Trump himself.
He was scheduled, as you noted, to go down to give testimony, which he had fought in court, as Lindsey Graham had as well, but he was going to go on Wednesday. You said the thinking now is that he will not, given his criminal exposure. Do we have any updates on that?
No, I haven't heard from his legal team officially on that. It just seems unlikely that once you're a target, the relationship changes. Here, his lawyers said that they were, sort of surprised to learn this, given that the DA's office had called him a material witness up until this point. There was a big debate about whether because he had a medical procedure, so he couldn't fly to Georgia. So they talked about busing him down, and there was a whole big fight about how to get him there for his interview with the grand jury. But now that may be off the table.
This seems in some ways the most acute present criminal threat to Trump's inner circle that we have seen thus far. I mean, obviously, the Mar-a-Lago was served with search warrants just a week ago. But having your personal lawyer, who was the agent of what you were doing, and someone who's been intimately involved in previous schemes, be a target of a criminal investigation from an office that seems quite serious, seems to me like the most acute fire in some ways for the Trump legal team.
I think that's right, and I think that even after what happened at Mar-a-Lago, that's still the case today. It's easy to sort of lose sight of how these probes, multiple probes, including the January 6th grand jury investigation, have gotten closer and closer to Trump. But I think still, even in light of what we now know, Fulton County looks like it's closer than the other probes to leading to higher level charges, a more mature probe, and is reaching that sort of conclusory stage, faster than the other ones.
All right, Kyle Cheney, thanks for your time tonight.